And hello everybody, and welcome to the champion in a nutshell. And wait, before you people that are being really annoying, go into the comments and tell me about how terrible my champion is. I want to admit, yes, my champion is in an awful state, and level-wise, he's awful. But the whole point of the in a nutshell guide is to show you about what he should be doing, so that when you're looking into what class you want to do, you want to know a little bit about what their role in the game is going to be, and you want to know a little bit about what they're going to be at 20 to 25. The Runekeeper and Warden guides are an exception. Most of the class guides, I think, are going to be done at this level, because that's the basic purpose of this walkthrough. And so, any criticism on how I actually do the video is much appreciated. Criticism on how terrible my champion is not appreciated, because I already know he's not a good champion right now. So, now that we actually know that, onwards to the rest of the video. The champion has a nice list of skills. At this level, he does some pretty high damage if you have all the right skills being used, especially Relentless Strike. Relentless Strike at this level is one of the best attacks you can do with a single attack. So, let's see, I'm only using one two-handed axe. So you can use either... Do I have other weapons? Nope, I must have dropped them somewhere else. The champion can either dual wield two weapons, or wield just one huge weapon, and that one huge weapon will do more damage on the big attacks, whereas the two smaller weapons will do more attack with the series of strikes like this. And wow, I haven't played this guy in forever. So, let's start with that. Turn on the basic stance. Almost, from what I know of, the Fervor is one of the better stances you can pick from. I've heard a lot of people say that Glory doesn't do all that much, and there's another one you don't unlock until later that I've also heard that's only good for very specific situations, I think in the Atmores. So now that I triggered him, look at my shiny axe that does nothing. So you do pretty high damage per hit. You can use Second Wind to get your power back. You've got an almost unlimited supply there. And you've got Brutal Strikes, one of the... What? Where did I just get 20... You just earned... Reputation... What was... Remove quest invitation to the Harvest Map due to versioning? I have no idea what I just did there, but I just got lots of things, right? I'm making sure I'm not completely crazy and imagined that. I'll have to look through the footage later. I saw lots of bonuses, but I'm not seeing the actual bonuses anymore. So, you have your basic attacks. Blade Wall will hit up to 5 targets in front of you. Quick Wild Attack, which does decent damage, but it takes a second to wind up. Swift Blade does slightly less damage, but it will also give you more fervor on a critical hit, and it strikes way quicker. And then Let Fly, which is a good skill for drawing the enemy, like this. So if there's only one you're after, and he's surrounded by enemies you'd have to go through, you can take them on like that. Sometimes you don't even need to use his specials. Now that I've got all this fervor before it runs off, come back here, Crow. So now that I draw him, let's see if I can... That's not gonna work. Let's take on a bigger group. So I think I just... Oh yeah, and Quick Strike will also hit up to 3 targets. So this might be slightly more than my guy can handle, but it'll let me show off this hit, which there, finished him in one shot. And I didn't even know I had a quest for these. This is an AoE that's my favorite to use, and I didn't use it. It looks awesome, it does great damage, and it hits loads of targets. Cleave is the same way, it does less damage, but it applies a bleed wound. And then Bracing Strike for when you want to heal. Like, let's go take on somebody really quickly before I've healed. Let's attack somebody less suicidal. This group of guys. Okay. So let's attack this guy. Did I draw this guy? Nope. So then do that. And Bracing Attack. Does a decent amount of damage, and then it heals your health. So that's good. And then finally, you have this attack over here. Is the first fervor using attack you get, and it does less damage than Brutal Strikes, but it's kind of more basic. It's easier to pull off fervor-wise, and It's useful in almost any situation. You don't have to have a guy at high health to be able to use all of it. And finally, is there anything Champions Challenge? If I were in a fellowship, this would immediately make everybody forced to attack me. So that's if the minstrel is getting completely annihilated. That's what you want to use. And then I'll show you Glory Stance. I think I'm not going to be quite as good. I don't even remember. It reduces the cooldown of a whole bunch of stuff. It reduces the cooldown of this by a great deal. So if you're tanking, sometimes Glory can work a little, because you can get extra morale from bracing attack. But it's really only good for 3-man fellowship tanking, because that bonus is not very significant later on. So then, let's see, on this Thorn Talon Scout, let's switch back to Fervor, and this time let's use Battle Frenzy to add 3 to Fervor, and then immediately put on my Bubble. And what this does is I have now, let's see, a total of 1071 temporary morale, and that's huge. You're going to be annoying everybody in monster play with that move. You get a damage bubble preventing 700 so applies the damage preventing bubble, granting 714 temporary morale. The strength of the damage protection bubble increases with each fervor expended. So its base is 714, and then for each extra fervor, it'll give you an extra couple hundred health. So that's a good move. Then let's see, Flurry. If you go over here, I keep using that. I'm used to Warden that will point you in the right direction when you click that by accident. So let's get Frenzy up there. Sorry, wrong move. So control-wise, I'm doing terrible today. This makes your attack speed go up, and now I can completely annihilate them. It's best for multiple enemies where you're going to be doing a lot of attacking, because then the effect lasts longer, and this one allows me to deal damage when they hit me. So now that I'm doing that, look how fast these guys go down, and whack, and whack. So the champion kills enemies really quickly. I really should play this guy more. They're fun. As an overview, the champion will be doing a lot of damage. The hunter of melee, for those of you who have used a hunter, it deals extremely high damage, is good in a variety of situations, and armor-wise, it can wear heavy armor, so it is adequately armored. Not quite as good as a guardian can get, but very good, although less. In a battle between a lore master and a champion, just armor-wise, the champion would completely win, hands down. Although I'm not sure, the lore master would probably just debuff him to death. But this was the champion in a nutshell. I really hope you enjoyed this, and I'm sorry for being a little harsh to all you commenters who love to put all these comments out telling me how terrible my classes are. And I know I give you guys a lot of support because nearly all of my classes are terrible, but that's kind of the whole purpose of the series. It's by noobs for noobs, so I saw a lot of you got really harsh on Burning Stone with his Battle of Erebor guide, and while I agree some things he could have done differently, there's always some things you could have done differently, some of the comments were really above and beyond what was needed, such as when I saw this video, I almost immediately started crying and almost deleted my Runekeeper. That's slightly more than you actually needed to get the point home. You could have just said what he did wrong. I like Bothfeet, I believe is his name. He was very logical, very nice about pointing out all the things that Burning Stone got messed up, and he wasn't overly mean about it. That's the good way to comment. You don't have to be really brutal and mean to get your point across to a YouTuber. All you have to do is write it in the comments, and we pay attention. So, thank you very much in advance for all the comments that we're going to get on this one. Thank you for just clicking on this button to view the video, because every view that we get makes it easier for the people who need our videos to come across them on YouTube. And thank you especially in advance for anybody who subscribes because of this video. I'm glad to make your day better in any way possible, and I hope that this was helpful if you have not played a champion. If you have played a champion, none of this is new, but this is designed for somebody who has no idea what a champion does. And so as a climax, let's see if I can suicide by jumping off this. Just thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And that was a fail. And this guy is such a fail, I can't even suicide properly. That's so pathetic.